Hi, welcome back to the Overturned Chatter. This is a different segment that I think I want to add to my community, and it's just talking about the headline news, things that um, resonate with me, that I feel that are important to share, or maybe something that we, you know, that that I think is important to mention, or to keep your mind and your heart open about certain things. This headline news is for the date of March the 26th through March 29th. And so let's begin. Um, First thing, I guess it ain't headline news, but like I said, information. I was watching the iHeart Awards, and the person with the most downloads for 2022. I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, okay, it's Nicki Minaj. Okay, it's this one. Okay, it's Harry Styles or some goddamn body. But I did not know it was Doja Cat. That woman got 3.9 billion with a B, yeah, billion downloads. And so I ain't good at math, and I don't even think my fucking computer can hold a billion. Have that many zeros to hold. But I put in as much as I could put in as far as dividing 3 point. No, I think I did like 3 billion divided by 362 days a year. I don't know. I'm getting old. Well, anyway, that number. And I think her shit was almost downloaded like 9 million times a day. That's a lot of shit. So anyway, enough of Doja Cat with her downloads. And then this broke my heart too, where I'm probably about 45-minute drive from Nashville. And when I turned the TV on to see that private elementary school had an incident with gun violence, it just, yeah, 6 people, 3 children, 3 adults all lost their lives, and I don't know how many were injured or if there were injuries, but that shit is so sad. And I'm like, I was like, who the fuck? Oh, before the news came out, before I could hear the rest of the news, I was like, it has to be a kid or somebody that went to school there. They was bullied, this and that. When they came back and said this bitch was 28, I was like, 28? Why would you go shoot up the fucking school? Why? I don't understand the school shooting shit. If I want to shoot somebody, I don't want to do it at the school. I mean, you got to be real fucked up because that trauma on children. That shit ain't no joke. And yeah, some of them gonna be okay. Some of that shit gonna roll off their back, but some of them kids, that shit ain't. And incidents like one that great can change the direction of somebody that's just at school trying to learn how to spell. It'll change their whole trajectory of their life because some asshole one come shoot up a school. Stay the fuck out of school. You want to shoot up some shit? If you really want to hurt somebody, go shoot your own self up. And I'm not saying do no violence, don't kill yourself, but stay the fuck away from kids. And as I was looking into it, I realized I saw the stats for this. It says since the beginning of the year. Now this ain't fucking but February 29th. I mean March the 29th, and January is the beginning of the year. And it said that there had been like since 2023, 110 people killed, adults and children combined, and 162 injured by gunfire. And these incidents took place only at school shootings, and it's been 57 school shootings since January, and this is March the 29th. It's crazy. Um, Something else that made the news was the Angela White, aka Blac Chyna, um, Robert Kardashian baby mama, dream mama. Somebody else is. Did she got a baby with? Not with Travis Scott. She got a baby with somebody anyway. Anyway, she was doing a whole bunch of shit, right? She got like an OnlyFans page. She used to go. It's alleged that she used to do cocaine. It's alleged a whole bunch of shit about her. Her and her mama named Tokyo Tony. That's I don't know. I just don't know. Well, anyway, she is now having. She's now removing all the shit that she put in her face, and I ain't gonna lie, she looked better without it. She was already cute. She just was trying to do something and be something that she ain't. Well, anyway, she got her that BBL. She got her shit took out her ass, her brush, like she regular. She looking like she's supposed to look. And then, but the worst thing was she had a body mo, some kind of fucked up looking tattoo. And don't come mess with me, people. You can't mess with me. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. But there ain't no buts. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. Anyway, it's like that female, male, ram, half man, half animal, up, down. It be doing all types of shit. But she had to put on her ass, and she having to take it off because it's supposed to be something about you worshiping Satan. So anyway, apparently she got saved. She took down her channel. Then she changed her life. And she said she changed her life because she found spirituality. And I believe that. I changed mine because I found it. But just because I'm spiritual don't mean I don't do human shit. Like, I'm human. I'm born in the sin, so I got shit with me. Hence the cussing. Anyway, her mother has come back and said that she faking. Well, listen, now for I don't know how long, but the mama has been preaching and preaching and preaching and preaching to save her soul. Her daughter fucking around with black spirits. Her daughter this, her daughter this, her daughter this. And I think and so anyway, the mother's saying that the girl's getting all this reverse work done because her ass is hot. Not hot like, but hot like, hot like that. So whatever that chemicals and shit is, that her ass is like a grill. I was gonna say oven, but the way they was describing it, or it sounded like it was sizzling. So anyway, she got the shit out. So whether it was sizzling or because it's spiritual, good luck to you, China. Okay, and then another. I believe this can be true because motherfuckers is people just shiesty. Not all of us, but a lot of us got shit wrong with us. They said the LA Charger Sebastian Joseph filed a complaint at the LAX airport because TSA was, we got to do a security check. He ain't like how the guy was filming on him. He said that shit was uncomfortable. Now, I believe the player. Only for a whole lot of reasons. A, because you know how a motherfucker, you know how somebody ain't touching you right. It's almost like, if anybody listening, I said if anybody listening, I hope the fuck somebody listening. It's like when you change a diaper, and I'm not saying nothing fucked up. It's like when you change a diaper on a baby, but the baby is a stranger. Like you babysitting and the baby take a shit. You gotta change him. But while you changing the baby, that motherfucker he can't see your hands, but he watching your face to make sure, they don't take their eyes off of you. Soon as they hear them little snaps, and that little pull down, they're laying down, but they're making sure. Yeah, so anyway, the dude he a fucking football player. How many planes he been on? How many times he been patted down? So he said something. He was like, so anyway, the player said something to TSA agent, like some shit like, I'm not really feeling comfortable with this. So he turned around. It's 3-4 other motherfuckers dead. Oh, you got a problem with how we feeling on you? Huh? You a big ass football player? You got a problem? We all finna fucking with you then. And that's what happened. So he filed a complaint. Then in the paper, I didn't know this, but it happened 7 years ago. So how the fuck do you remember if you got a brain injury? Gwyneth Paltrow went skiing with her family, and she skied and this man got fucked up. He said he went flying through the air like a squirrel and landed face down in the snow. And he could hear shit, but he couldn't hear shit. He like he in and out because the conscious, a whole bunch of shit. And he said he was sorry. And if he said he was sorry, he don't know. He heard people saying, "Hey man, what's the matter?" You know, just a whole bunch of confusion. But I guess if you have a concussion, that's how shit is. So anyway, I turned on the TV and I just saw the part where Gwyneth Paltrow was doing her testifying, and she said she was skiing, and the next thing you know, from behind, she feel it. I guess I don't know what to do. I don't know what the fuck I heard. I'm just being honest with you, but best believe I heard her say it wasn't her damn fault. So anyway, that's what's going on. I wasn't that interested in it 7 years ago, and I think they're probably gonna plead out of court because the only person that said they saw it from start to finish was the person that the gentleman that said he got hurt by her. His friend was there. He was like 40 feet away. So a lot of the testimony is coming from the friend because the man that actually got hurt, he don't remember. Anyway, he asked him for $350,000 because he was a eye doctor. And I don't know if he can eye doctor no more. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's get off of them. And then I wanted to talk about, from skiing, let's talk about the weather. What the fuck is going on? Is Armageddon coming? California. And you ain't finna tell me that bitch ain't about to fall in the ocean. If it don't fall in the ocean won't fall on it. And so I feel I was in a natural disaster. Well, what we consider a natural disaster. One time, Hurricane Hugo at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. My husband was my family relocated there when I was a teenager, just because I'm actually originally from Baltimore, Maryland, but my family was. You'll hear about it, but I was in Hurricane Hugo, and that shit was. It wasn't. No, I'm not saying it was nowhere on the scale where the whole town was fucking missing. The one lady said she came back to where she thought her house used to be. So what I'm trying to say is my heart goes out to families, but if you wasn't alive, you can't do nothing. So I thank God, that your families are well. This other shit is. I'm saying it but I'm in my crib. It's just shit. You can't get the person back. And maybe like 3 or 4, maybe 10 years ago, my sister lost her fiance and his father, in a hurricane in North Carolina. The winds caught up the car and then picked the car up and slammed it into a tree. And you don't be thinking that this shit can happen to people that because you think it's a rare occurrence, but because of that shit, I used to drive when the weather was crazy, for bullshit. I wasn't driving to the emergency room or to a doctor's appointment. I would be go getting, I don't know, red sweets, or beer, something. And I didn't give a fuck what the weather looked like as long as I had a car. But now, because of that incident happened so close to home, I consider the weather now. I just don't do that type of shit. So again, the devastation. I can't even watch the news to see all those homes tore up. And I don't even worry about the adults. It's the kids. And kids are resilient as hell. But just explaining to them why the shit is going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just, where the schools at? Where you go get food at? You ain't got no power. And then I heard this weekend, today is March the 29th. Thursday, March the 29th, that starting tomorrow, that like 47 million Americans are in the line for this terrible ass storm that's going to sweep the nation. I don't know what we done to our world, our atmosphere. They call it global warming. They call it a whole bunch of shit. But this, I don't know. But I don't worry about nothing because what you're praying for if you're worrying. I just give it to God. So anyway, let's proceed. I do like this. Utah passed a law that's going to be in effect, going to effect next year with the TikTok shit for children. That they're going to have to, kids are going to have to, kids are going to have like a certain time, whatever it is. They got some kind of fucking restriction in the first state to doing in Utah, and they kind of give parents some kind of more parental control, because kids don't need to be watching all this shit, and just a lot of shit on, just a lot of shit. Yeah, my grandson is 2.5. He like TikTok. Okay. For those of you, because of the pandemic, for those of you who want to travel this year, and international travel, like cruises and shit, where you're going to be leaving the country, they ain't say not go, but the motherfuckers said don't go till you have a passport. If you don't have your passport together, don't do it. They say the federal government said that they are receiving 500,000 requests for passports a day. And during the pandemic, because everybody, countries and shit was shutting down, all those workers that would normally process passports, they let the motherfuckers go. So they gotta do like a whole rehire. So anyway, usually when you expedite your passport, I think it used to take like 6 weeks. Now they're saying, don't do that shit. Don't even, you might get it back 4 weeks earlier. But not to go make reservations for cruises, for anywhere where you require that you need a passport, because you may not have it back in time. Yeah, so I think that's fucked up. Oh, actually it said 13 weeks it normally takes for a regular one, and 7 to 9 weeks for an expedited, but that ain't even a guarantee. And then, yesterday, the Pope got sick, and this is the bad time for the Pope to be sick, because I think Holy Week starts this Sunday for Easter, and I was saying that I had my family, we were a military family, and I was in Europe for like maybe 7 years. I lived there, and one Holy Week we decided to go to Rome, even though we're not Catholic, but I love everybody, and I wanted the experience of it. It was so many good. It was so many people. I had never, it was like a sea. If you can imagine looking out at the ocean and all that blue shit is people, it was crazy. But it was beautiful. It was crowded. I had my kids with me, and my kids were little then. I think my oldest one might have been maybe about 10, 11 or 10. My youngest, probably less than a year old. So many people. But what I saw, I said, oh, name John. Shit, I saw Paul John, the little teeny one. They used to, well, they all ride around the fucking little car. Anyway, that was really interesting. And I'm hoping that people come from all over the world for Holy Week, and Rome is beautiful. I did hear a downside though. They're gonna start charging people money for the Trinity Fountain. It's beautiful too. Beautiful. I don't know how they're gonna charge for it because the motherfucker outside, but I don't know. We'll see. But before you just go over there and just take pictures and throw your money in the, whatever. So in New York, it's this big thing going on with the in the LGBT. I ain't trying to be funny. It's a whole bunch of letters, so y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about. That culture, and it's the clubs. The people are getting the patrons to some of these clubs is getting robbed. And it came to light when this one lady, her son, he lived in New York. He got a little bit of cheese, had a real good job. He was hanging out, but he wound up dying. And when he died, they said he was found because he did drug overdose. But the mom was like, my son don't do no drugs. So anyway, her sister, somebody was reading the paper, and the way that this guy in the paper died is similar to her son. And somehow or another, because of, people smart, they linked it as like a group of like 6 to 8 men, And what they do is they go to the club and they target men and they drug you. And from, I think so far it's been 17 incidents, but 2 people have died because it is like a ring. And it's like some kind of robbery ring or some shit. And so the lady raised hell, and the police in New York started looking into it and come to find out that it's true. So what they do is you go and they just drug you. They put something in your drink or give you something, and then they either drug you enough to use your fingerprint on your phone, whatever it is, to get your password. They get enough information out of your ass before you clonk out to access your account. And this particular incident, the dude he was fucked up, and they seen him on the camera. There's no way he could have spent $20,000. And then he leave the club fucked up, and he did. They got him on them CT cams, leaving the club, and he was with 2 men. And then the other incident where the sister or the friend called the mom and said, "Hey, this dude kind of died. His death is similar to your son's." He was in a taxi cab, and they seen him. I don't know, somehow or another, I don't know. He got fucked up too, and he had money missing, maybe like $3,000. But how you got money missing and your ass is dead? So anyway, just be careful and just watch your fucking drinks. Just watch your drinks. And then I'm sick of this bullshit. Why is it taking so long to lock up Trump? You know why it's taking so long to lock up Trump? Because it's going to be another January the 6th if they do. He already done said it. He been dropping little shit, dropping little crumbs, you know, that he ain't fitting to go to jail. And then it's evident because I'm hearing that allegedly people that had something to do with the case of somebody got sent anthrax through the mail. Then there's like a side-by-side kind of picture of the ex-president, the previous president, holding a bat, and the way that he's swinging it looked like he would be hitting the person that's part of the New York prosecutor. Just some bullshit. They let Trump do everything. I wish they stop fucking with me and go fuck with him, especially the IRS. I don't got no money. Yeah, he got plenty of shit. He doing all types of shit. He get money for free from people. Go get your tax money from him. Ask him, tag my shit on his bill. And just stop fucking with me about it. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Elon Musk telling us to, now Elon Musk is saying this shit, to slow down before and get laws on this artificial intelligence shit. It's popping up everywhere. This artificial intelligence is writing term papers. Is solving problems. It's everywhere. Now they got one. The one that Elon Musk is really kind of worried about is one of these companies had developed one AI system that can read your fucking mind. See? Yeah. Now that's a fucking invasion. It can read, you wear this motherfucker, and it reads exactly what it is that you're thinking. Okay? I'm afraid of that. So, it's another big thing is, we just got a contract. Oh, is it North Carolina or South Carolina? Got, one of the southern states got a $5 billion, I think it's $1 billion, project going on. They're developing the shit to do the charging stations for the cars. So that's going to be a big boost for the United States. They're going to put charging stations everywhere. The president announced it. And I don't know. Let's talk about this president shit just for a second, and then I'm going to let you go. It should be a cutoff for this shit. These motherfuckers are 75 and 80. And then that one in South Carolina. I don't know. He the longest motherfucker that's been there. Y'all need to have a cutoff. Y'all motherfuckers too old. Yeah. And Biden, you too old. And shit, you doing shit. All of y'all do it though. But I just didn't think that you would make promises then break them. I ain't real cool with you drilling. Why the fuck is you drilling for oil and we get ready to use electricity? I can't. I just can't. So listen, register to vote, people. And the registering to vote, I ain't always talking about that president shit. I'm talking about you got to start in your district. You got to start putting them in right where they at. Not once they get up there, because once they get up there, they got lobbyists and shit. They done made friends. You gotta watch them from the beginning. And even if you watch them from the beginning, they be fucking up. But you got to find some people that's for the people, because these people is not for the people. And I remember one time, I ain't nobody but a citizen. I went to my county office and I wanted to run. That bitch was so mean to me. I was like, you better be glad I ain't no county official, because I'll make sure your ass got fired. You got to come back in. First of all, the fucking election places where people do want to run, fucking, when you get there, be nice. Everybody don't understand. Y'all didn't let everybody play politics. Yeah. So everybody don't know the process. And I went because I wanted to run for councilman in my district. I probably did it maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. And that bitch that was in charge of giving me the information, she was so nasty. Yeah, I was like, I'm not putting my neck out here for these type of people, because the shit is in my district. So anyway, I'm just saying, vote. Start don't just pick a name. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not always been all up with it. But I have been to places, and that the people I don't like that shit, I don't like who running. So I write my own fucking name in. And with that, I'm going to get on before I get spit on. But before I do, I want to say you could have been anywhere in the world, anywhere doing anything, but you're here watching me, and that feels good to my heart. Thank you. Have a good day.